Okay, so I want to talk about something that I've sort of really tried not to talk about, tried not to add fuel to the fire, really, and that's the Prince Harry thing. But there's just one thing that's cropped up over the last few days that just beggars belief for me. This business about him saying that he just wants to have a relationship with his brother and his father. It's just that's the point where I just beggars belief for me, that one. So let's talk about that, but I just want to get there and set my stall out as to where I am. I'm only going to talk about Harry. I'm not going to talk about Meghan Markle. There's just no point, right? It's just the waters we swim in today. She's a woman, she's mixed race. It's just so easy to dismiss whatever I say there. Harry is as white as a ghost. He's got ginger hair. He gets extra points for that. He's male, right? So it's quite easy for me to criticize him, and what I say can't just be dismissed on those sort of spurious grounds. What do I think about Prince Harry going into all of this? Look, obviously being in the UK, I've sort of followed it, not closely, but followed it over the years. And it's quite clear he's quite unlike his brother. And he's not really cut out for this sort of royal lifestyle, I don't think. He was never quite as keen with it. He's somebody who really wanted his own space a little bit more. So, in many ways, when finally it was like, right, that's it, we're sort of leaving the royal household side of it, we're going to stop our official duties, we're going to go and live in the United States, we want a bit more privacy, we want to get away from this media circus. I understood that. I understood that. I got that. It's something that I thought that's probably been a long time coming, I think. He made a lot of accusations. I think they're a mixed bag. I really do. It's so easy to fence it, but I can't not fence it because I think there probably is some truth in some of the things that he said. And he probably has some genuine points to feel aggrieved over. Although some of them just seem to boil down to the fact that he's not the heir to the throne, which puts him in the same boat as everybody else in the world other than his brother. That's just the way it is, folks. We can't all be king or queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. So that's just the way it is. But I'm sure some of the things were genuine. Others, I really have very grave doubts over. I think there's a certain amount of embellishment that's gone on as well. But nevertheless, he went away because he wanted his privacy, wanted to get out the limelight. It's not easy getting out the limelight. I make it look really, really easy by making videos that nobody watches. But for a lot of people, it's very, very difficult. And consequently, he got over there to get out the limelight and ended up giving a couple of interviews that went right around the world, made a 3-part series on Netflix, folks, and has written a book, okay? It's not as easy as you think to keep out of the limelight, clearly. And I suppose he's got to learn how to do it, hasn't he? So he's done that. And this is the thing. I think he feels aggrieved. He feels the things that he needed to get off his chest and then obviously get off his chest again and then maybe just get off his chest a few more goes. And the book is out now. And I believe there's an interview queued up in America that's going to be another salacious sort of interview to get a few more things off his chest yet again. And there's an interview as well in the UK with somebody called, I think it's Tom Bradby, where he's going to get a few more things off his chest. And it's this interview that's flummoxing me because apparently it's being released on Sunday, but they sort of released a few snippets, and in one of the snippets he said they've shown absolutely no willingness to reconcile. I would like to get my father back. I would like to have my brother back. And this is the bit that I just don't understand, right? I don't understand from his perspective, sort of like, it's just such a weird thing to say at this point in time. He's not saying it in a year's time when all this dies down. He's saying it while he's punching his brother in the face. I get it. This is an analogy, by the way. He's not literally punching his brother in the face. He feels his brother at some point in the past has punched him in the face a few times, figuratively speaking, and so he's punching back, isn't he? But what a strange way to do it. Imagine there, your brother's punching you in the face, right? Nose is blooded on the face in the publicity, and he's making William's job harder, his professional life harder now and when he becomes king. He's saying personal things about him. And in between punching him in the face, he's announcing that he'd really like to have a relationship. Biff, Biff. That all I want more than anything else, Biff, is a relationship with you. Biff, right? And that's really what I want. And I think maybe the best time to start that is just after I punch you in the face a few more times. Biff, 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 right? I mean, I struggle to get my head around that mentality. He's not even given some time for this to clear. It's whilst he's performing this figurative social face punching that's going on that he's making this claim. And what an odd situation to put William in, because one thing that you can tell is that if William decides at the end of that, do you know what, it's more trouble than it's worth. Why am I going to put myself back in this situation again? I don't want to have that relationship. Then he's going to be perceived as the bad guy. Harry's going to be like, I just wanted to have a relationship with him, and he doesn't want to listen, and he won't just make up. But from William's perspective, all I can say is, regardless of what's happened, if I was William, I wouldn't want to have a relationship with Harry. It wouldn't matter what had happened, because everything that's been dealt with has been dealt publicly again and again and again. Why would you want to have a relationship with somebody who's going to do that? Because one thing that you know is that there's every damn chance the same thing's going to happen all over again. Let's be honest, the situation is that this has almost run its course, right? There's only so many times that Prince Harry can keep going to that same well. And I would suggest it's pretty much almost dry now. There's not a lot more water left in there. That well needs topping up, doesn't it? And how else is it going to get topped up unless he has a relationship with his brother again? And effectively, I'm being cynical here, but has a chance to get some fresh material. Whatever William does, if William shows some contrition and says, do you know what, I'm sorry, maybe I've been bad, right, we'll make a note of that. That's something that I can say, that he admitted his guilt and he blah, blah, blah. If he doesn't, if he says, well, actually, no, I think it was you, Harry, this is something else. Everything that's said, everything that he could possibly disagree with Harry about in the future, every time Harry might be pissing him off over something, he's not going to be able to say anything because he's going to know full well that this is going to be round 2 in another 3 or 4 or 5 years. I wouldn't want to have anything to do with Harry whatsoever if he was my brother. And so it puts William in a really difficult position there, I think, because the sensible thing to do, if you're hard-nosed enough to do that with your brother, which in his position he probably would be well served to be, then he's going to be criticised for it, for being unfeeling, unempathetic. And yet what we're saying then is he has to put himself in this position where he has to provide fresh, dirty laundry that Harry, at some moment in his choosing, can choose to air in public all over again. From my perspective, this is just such a weird situation. This isn't what having a royal family is supposed to be about. There's supposed to be a bit of decorum. If Harry has something to say, if he wants to say it publicly, then he should be like, right, I've done that, I've got it all off my chest, but I have to accept that I'm not part of that anymore, right? I might have a conversation with him on the phone every now and again, but it's nothing to do with me. I'm out of that now. I'm not part of that anymore because I've burnt my bridges. I've all the things that I had to say, all the things that I wanted to say, I've said them in front of the entire world, which most people don't do that. That isn't a normal way to act, especially from somebody who claims that really what he wants is his privacy. Above anything else, he really, really wants his privacy. I hope this dies a death. I hope the book's published, we have these 2 interviews, and that's it. But it won't do, because I don't think Harry will allow it to. It's not in his interests to. Where does he go from here if he allows it to die a death? And I think that's going to be William's fear. Okay, interested to know what you think about that. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.